What's going on, guys? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and I am back with another Xanathar's Guide to Everything Unearthed Arcana comparison subclass video. This time we're talking about the second and only other paladin contained within Xanathar's Guide, and that is the Oath of Redemption. So why don't we jump in over here. So the Oath of Redemption first appeared in the Unearthed Arcana 3 or trio of subclasses alongside Drunken Master, and I believe the Monster Hunter Ranger, Monster Slayer Ranger. So it is very, almost entirely different in almost every aspect from what first appeared. I really liked this version of it, but it has changed significantly, so let's go over what has changed. I believe the tenets are the same. The spells were Shield, Sleep, Hold Person, Ray of Enfeeblement, Counterspell, Hypnotic Pattern, Odaluk's Resilient Sphere, Stone Skin, Hold Monster, and Wall of Force. We now have Sanctuary and Sleep, as opposed to Shield and Sleep. Makes a little bit more sense. Calm Emotions and Hold Person versus Ray of Enfeeblement. Counterspell and Hypnotic Pattern is the same. Odaluk's Resilient Sphere and Stone Skin, and then Hold Monster and Wall of Force. So, they changed up spells to make it more in line with this sort of redemption feel. In that previously the paladins were, they seemed very... Like, a Ray of Enfeeblement is a very offensive spell, not very redeeming. Calm Emotion sort of makes more sense. And you had this really awesome feature that I super liked at level 3 called Armor of Peace. While you aren't wearing armor or wielding a shield, your base AC is 16 plus your dex modifier, potentially allowing you to have a 21 AC without wearing armor or any shields. You know, you could get that higher with things like, say, bracers of defense or rings and cloaks of protection and so on. But the thought was that you are so peaceful and so unafraid that you basically walk into dangerous situations unarmed. We don't have any direct correlation at all. You only get your channel divinity now. You got 3 options, which might have been a little bit too much. Got 3 things. So we also got Warrior of Reconciliation. While wielding a simple weapon that deals bludgeoning damage, you gain a special benefit if you reduce a creature to 0 HP with that weapon and decide to spare their life, making them fall unconscious. The creature is charmed by you for a minute. During that time, the charmed creature is peaceful and docile, refusing to move, to take actions or reactions unless you command it to. You can't order the creature to attack, force them to make a saving throw, or force someone to make a saving throw or cause damage to itself or others. The charm effect ends early if you are incapacitated, or if you or your companions attack the creature, do damage to it, or force it to make a saving throw. When the effect ends after a minute, the creature falls back unconscious. And then you also got your 2 channel divinities, Emissary of Peace. You can use your channel divinity to augment your presence. As a bonus action, get a +5 to your next persuasion check you make within the next minute. Or Rebuke the Violent. As a reaction, when an enemy within 10 feet of you deals damage with a melee attack against one creature other than you, you force the attacker to make a wisdom save. If they fail, they take a radiant damage equal to the damage they just dealt. On a successful save, it takes half as much damage. So, we have Emissary of Peace, which is now way better. As a bonus action, you give yourself a +5 to persuasion checks for the next 10 minutes. This used to be +5 to persuasion checks to the next persuasion check you make within the next minute. Now this is all persuasion checks within 10 minutes. Rebuke the Violent. Immediately after an attacker within 30 feet of you deals damage with an attack to a creature other than you, you can use your reaction to force the creature to make a wisdom save. On a fail, the creature takes radiant damage equal to the damage they just dealt, half on a success. So that is the same. At 7, we had Aura of the Guardian. Again, this kind of feels similar to the stuff that the Oath of the Crown Paladin has. But as a reaction, when an ally within 10 feet of you takes damage, you instead magically take that damage. This feature doesn't transfer any other effects that might accompany the damage. At this point, I will remind you that you're taking the damage magically. It does not say that you couldn't reduce the damage if you had, say, if this was a fire attack and you had fire resistance, or a poison attack and you have poison immunity or something like that. That wasn't the case. You could still do that. Now, when a creature within 10 feet of you takes damage, you can use your reaction to magically take that damage. Instead of the creature taking it, This feature does not transfer any of the effects that might accompany the damage, and this damage can't be reduced in any way, which takes away a lot of that synergy. It does also state here that at 18, the aura increases to 30 feet, as do all aura abilities, but this one was not listed here. It's now clarified. Protective Spirit, you regain hit points equal to 1d6 plus half your paladin level if you end your turn in combat with fewer than half of your hit points remaining and you aren't incapacitated. Regain 1d6 plus half your paladin level at the end of your turn when you end with fewer than half of your hit points and you aren't incapacitated. Was this end of your turn as well? End your turn. Okay. And then lastly, we had Emissary of Redemption. You have resistance to all damage dealt by other creatures. Whenever a creature damages you, it takes damage equal to half the amount it dealt to you. If you attack a creature, deal damage to it, or force it to make a saving throw, neither benefit works against that creature until you finish a long rest. And now you have resistance to all damage dealt by creatures. When a creature hits you with an attack, it takes radiant damage equal to half the damage you take from the attack. I believe that is the same. Damage dealt to you. If you attack a creature, cast a spell, or deal damage to it by any means, neither benefit works until you finish a long rest. So that's it, guys, for the Oath of the Redemption Paladin. Probably one of the nicest things I like is we get to see a female Dragonborn and not the like kind of wonky, makes no sense, breasty female Dragonborn. I'm guessing that it's a female by the color scheme and sort of the kind of feminine-esque nature to this Dragonborn. But it's nice to see one treated as one should be, rather than randomly giving them boobs like they did back in 4E. So that's something. But as far as this class as a whole, it's okay. It's not my favorite. It's not Oath of the Ancients. It's not Oath of Conquest, which, like as I discussed yesterday, Oath of Conquest is quite powerful and synergetic with itself. This isn't bad. I do sort of I like the idea of sort of the wandering armorless paladin. But giving you Armor of Peace, Warrior of Reconciliation, and your Channel Divinity all at level 3 might be a little bit too much. I'll admit that. But I still think it would have been cool to see it fit somewhere else. I like the idea of the non-traditional armorless paladin. The spell changes I'm okay with. They make more sense to fit the scenario. Some of the things got a little bit of buffs, like Emissary of Peace. Aura of the Guardian got a little bit of a downside, even though I was sort of expecting you to not be able to reduce the damage. Free healing when you have less than half hit points is not... You can't ever say no to that. And I do kind of like the idea that you're so peaceful at level 20, if someone does hit you, they just take damage. Which I think is pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think. I don't particularly think I would play this class, as I feel like I might get bored. I don't feel like the class is that... It's like I said, it sort of has a drunken master vibe for me, right? Like, it's not bad. It's just not great or unique. I think there are other paladins that do a better job. Basically, I think Paladin has one of the strongest showings in the player's handbook from its 3 base subclasses. If you add those and then take Conquest, I think those are all very well done. Redemption isn't bad, it just doesn't really wow me. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys have seen something I haven't. Let me know in the comments below what you think about it and why you would or would not play it. Anyway, guys, I will be back next time with the start of the Ranger coverage. So, I'll see you then.